107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B.
Tonight is an exceptional night. It's an exceptional night because we have one of the dearest friends that I could possibly ever think about has finally come back home to kind of chill in the cut with us for a while, and that is my good friend, your good friend, Brother Teddy Riley. Welcome back home.
Thank you, Lenny, man. I'm very happy to be back home. I want to say hello to everybody out there and all my friends and my family.
Especially uptown.
Yes.
Because you're a Harlem cat, man.
Yeah, I am a Harlem cat, but I was all over the place.
I know you were, brother. I know. My first memories of Harlem. My family, before I came into the world, lived in Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
Brother was born in Harlem Hospital. I was born in Brooklyn.
I was born in Harlem Hospital.
You were born in Harlem Hospital. But then I had summer jobs in Harlem. So the worst memory of Harlem that I have is that I got ripped off for $1 by the Armory. I bought 145th Street.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, too. But my fondest memories, man, of Harlem, when I tried to make a venture in singing, from that point on, was at the Apollo Theater. So I have nothing but love for Uptown, man, in a great way. I don't do what you creatively do at all, brother. But I do want to say congratulations because, this is, ladies and gentlemen, is the king of New Jacks. And you are also the recipient recently, I heard, of the Legendary Award that was presented to you in Atlanta.
The ambassador. That's what they say, the ambassador. But yeah, this year.
Congratulations on that.
That's actually in 3 places. We just got the ambassador award and honorary in Dubai.
Wow.
And it's just amazing, how people remember and acknowledge.
Well, brother, how can we not acknowledge the foundation, the empire that you have built and created? I have so many questions, man. And who better than you to give us all the real deal perspective? Never knew why Guy broke up. Don't want to know all the dish and all the dirt. But unfortunately, we loved Guy, man. When you put together that group, man, that was phenomenal. Needless to say, when you closed the doors and Guy was a chapter that was put aside, you went on to Blackstreet. Phenomenal. You pulled some of the best talent in the world to represent Blackstreet. But take us back. What happened with Guy? Is there a possible reunion? Can differences be set aside, and will you ever see yourself performing with Aaron again?
Oh, yeah, of course. Actually, we just did 4 weeks ago, we did St. Louis, New Orleans, and Chicago. I went to Chicago. I wasn't supposed to go to Chicago. I was supposed to be in Hawaii with Blackstreet. But I went to Chicago because I felt like Chicago was one of our biggest markets to perform in and actually sell records. So I went and it was Valentine's Day, and me and my fiance, and we went to Chicago to surprise Aaron, and I went to go there to just, surprise him.
Gotcha.
And I walked on the stage, and the crowd went bananas. And it was just amazing, just the warm welcoming. But, it was kind of crazy when they went on the stage. The whole perception was, them to do the show and sing the songs, and that's what it looked like. And that is not how Guy is supposed to be received.
Right.
And then when I walked out, that was the feeling of how Guy and what Guy was supposed to come across as, and the perception.
Yeah, man.
It went nuts. People were in the audience, and being that it was a Lover's Day, Valentine's Day,
sure.
People were crying in the audience. And I didn't have my keyboard or anything. I just walked on the stage, surprised them. They gave me the biggest hug, and it was almost like just putting back on our shoes.
So you and Aaron do have a great relationship to this day.
Let me say this. Aaron is my big brother. But Aaron is the big brother that just don't listen. And they don't understand how to listen to the little brother.
I can relate to that to real life. I understand.
Yeah, and see, the thing about it is, I've gotten my success and, done what I've done today from the mistakes that I made. All the mistakes that I've made, I've learned from them all and I clean them all up, and all the things that I've done, or if there's people out there that I'm not good with or I don't have a good rapport with, I go back.
Yeah.
Like the guys from Blackstreet, the ones that didn't, make the cut.
Sure.
I go back and I just recently talked to Mark and Eric and Joseph Stone Street, who was in the hospital. He had a stroke. And I talked to those guys. I talked to Levi, not necessarily to come back in the group,
Right.
but just to let them know that, you're still in our thoughts and you still have love from Blackstreet because you were a part of this. And hopefully one day we'll be able to make something out of it and, build maybe a show where all 12 members,
Wow.
come back. But back to Guy. As a matter of fact, let's go back to the beginning, why I left Guy. I left Guy because I lost my best friend, in the whole New Edition Guy altercation with the backline, not actually the actual principals. And when that happened, it just felt like, I wasn't cut out, for that, to lose a best friend, who he was like a big brother to me and almost like a father figure, because my father wasn't around and he was one that always looked out for me. And losing him just made me say, you know what, you need to take a break from this and go back to what you originally wanted to do, was just produce. I was in a group. I was actually put into the group situation because Gene Griffin said you have to be visually seen in order for people to know who you are as a producer. And I took that and I said, you know what, well, I'm going to go take singing lessons and, learn how to sing and, articulate how I would come across as an entertainer. And I did that. And I kind of stopped at George Clinton meets Johnny Guitar Watson and Roger Troutman, because that's where I wanted to be and who I wanted to be. And it came across so well. When I sung my first song, I was with Aaron Hall, who taught me in the actual booth how to sing We Can Spend the Night. And after we sung that, I was so proud. I called my mother. Before we saw our lives before us, me and Aaron Hall had a major car accident. After singing that song,
really?
we had a major car accident, and I was driving our brand new 5.0 Mustang that Gene gave me, and it was the record. Hello, Donna, meet Teddy. And next thing you know, bang, bang, bang. I hit 4 brand new Cadillacs. So we were at Tony Bennett's studio out in Jersey, Hillside. And we were going up Teaneck Road. And there was ice, the ice
Black
slide,
ice.
the and I hit 4 parked brand new Cadillacs.
Wow.
And we were just, the music was on.
Right.
And my foot stayed on the gas, because it's my first, year, I think maybe first, second year driving a car like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the accident, my foot was still on the gas. So I'm going like this, just going back and forth, ramming each car. And we land in a parking spot. And I knew all I knew was it was just God. That it was just like, I looked at Aaron, I said, man, you okay? He said, man, I can't bend my neck. And he looked at me, he said, man, you all right? And he turned his whole body. And I said, man, there was a hole from my nose into my mouth, and it was just blood. I thought my nose was bleeding. It was just a hole.
Wow.
And that's my story about Aaron and I and how much I love him as a big brother. He was there from the beginning, stayed in my house, only had one pair of shoes, and he was just so humble.